Now tonight we did this thing. You guys acted this out about the story of Mary and Joseph and Jesus, right? Mary and Joseph had Jesus was born. Where was he born? Just shout. Just tell me. You don't have to wait. He was in Bethlehem. But was he born in a hospital? Was he born in a house? He was born where? In a manger. Who knows what a manger is? What's a manger? Just tell me. What's a manger? It's like a little barn. Okay? So it's like a barn where Jesus was born in a barn. Okay? Has anybody ever been to a barn?
No.
Who's been in a barn? You guys? Been in a barn? Some of your parents think your rooms are barns. You ever heard that? If you've been in a barn, what's a barn like? What's in a barn? Just tell me what's in a barn. What's in a barn? Pigs. What?
Chicken.
Animals. What's in a barn? What else is in a barn? Steak. Have you guys ever smelled a barn? What's a barn smell like? Does it smell good or does it smell bad? Bad. It really smells bad. I mean, there's all kinds of. There's hay and there's animals. Have you ever smelled? Have you ever been to like a petting zoo and you smell the animals? What do the animals smell like? They smell like poop. Man, I know. As much as I would love to talk about this subject with you guys, I think beyond that, it's really interesting. What do you think? Jesus, did you ever think about that? Jesus was born in a stable, in a barn, in a tiny little barn like that, with all those animals, with all that stink all around, okay? And with all that in the barn. What do you think? How does it make you feel? How do you feel about God, His Son being born in all of that mess? How do you feel about it? Horrible? Really? Horrible? Why do you think? Weird? Maybe a little? Well, it's kind of unusual, maybe, yes? No, yeah, he was a king, and kings shouldn't be born in there. But Jesus was the most unusual king of all. Because here's the thing. You might think that it's kind of weird for a king, for God, for perfection. Because Jesus, was he perfect?
No.
Who says perfect? Who says not perfect? Good job. Was he perfect completely or just a little?
Completely.
Very good. Just like we talked about. Perfect completely. But he was born in a stable with all of that mess. The thing that's kind of encouraging about that is that God is not afraid. God is not afraid to get stuck in our mess. God is not afraid to associate with all of our mess. Because even though we try hard, even though the Christmas cards we get and all the shows we see on television, and even if our moms and dads try the best they can, Christmas is never perfect, is it? Not really ever. Even tonight, we tried to make it perfect, didn't we? Was it perfect tonight? There were little tiny mistakes, and they kind of laughed at us, didn't they? But they were laughing because it made them happy. And even though at home, in your houses, and your moms and dads try to make Christmas perfect, they just can't because it's a mess, and people get sick, and people have sadness, and people lose things, and they don't get the stuff that they want, and sometimes there's a lot of mess, not just outside, and people break things. Suppose maybe that happened tonight. But people break things, and they have mess. But not only is the mess on the outside, but the bigger mess of our lives is on the inside. In our hearts, exactly. And so because our hearts are such a mess, the cool thing about Jesus is that He's not afraid to live in messy barns what that should tell you is that He's not afraid to live in messy hearts either. As a matter of fact, Jesus was born to fix our messy hearts, to come inside and to clean up our messy hearts by dying for our sins and paying for all the mess that's in there so that we don't have to pay for it ourselves. We should be really excited. We should be really excited that Jesus was willing to be born in a messy, smelly, animally poopy barn. Because that's the same condition that our hearts are in. Messy and dark and needy and cleaned up. And that's why Jesus came. And that's why it's exciting. And that's why our Christmases don't have to be perfect. And even if you miss Christmas, here's the one other thing. Here's the one last thing I'll tell you. Even though you never miss Christmas. Because Christmas isn't something you have to find. Christmas is something that finds you. Just like the angels came to find the shepherds. The star came to find the Magi, and the angel came to get Mary and Joseph. The same thing will happen with us. You don't have to find Christ. He'll find you, and He'll come and get you because He loves you that much. You know, let's sing a song about the manger. Do you have one last question? What do you got? Oh, it's an answer. What do you got? It is God's birthday, exactly right. And so why don't we sing a song for God's birthday? You guys know Away in a Manger? Let's sing the first verse of Away in a Manger. And you think they should help us? All right. Let's ask them to help us. Hey, would you guys help us sing the first verse of Away in a Manger? It's not in your program. We just came up with that here because we know that. So if you wouldn't mind singing it, and you can stay seated, these guys are going to go off and sit with your moms and dads while we sing. Can you do that? All right, let's sing.